This is our course in miracles, the recognition that all around us is a light of love and forgiveness from our Savior, Jesus Christ, that is showing us a whole revision of what we are. We're glad you joined us today. I imagine that the title itself made you a little apprehensive, along with your apprehension of everything that you see, that I might threaten you with my certainty that contained within you is the power to heal any disease from which the human condition might appear to suffer. This from our Savior, Jesus Christ, who is very emphatic in his New Testament and also in his Course in Miracles in informing you that the power of decision concerning what you are within the Advent relationship of time that represents our body correspondence, is momentarily denying you access to the entirety of the power of the healing grace of God. Let's look for just a moment at what we intend to do today. And the specific nature of my attempt is going to involve some particulars in my mind as a healer, in my individual regard for you and your capacity to recognize a correspondence in us, that will help you avoid what you would call static in the sense of interference that causes you to suffer from what is termed Parkinson's disease. And the abnormality of it is incredibly debilitating. And first I want to share with you, those of you who suffer from this particular, my entire sympathy and empathy that I offer you in regard to my recognition of your inability momentarily within your mental faculty to organize a relationship that allows you for a physical correspondence with your body in correspondence with the commands that you're receiving from your mind. In a particular sense, what I intend to do, and you listen carefully to this is all coming from Jesus Christ of Nazareth. If you let me show you a new, let's use the term rhythm, if you let me show you within your correspondence of the lyric of your own mind, that is, the script that you write for yourself, along with the instrumentation that represents you in my sharing of my lyric and my instrumentation of the organizations of the vibrations of light, I can show you that Parkinson's disease is nothing but a momentary loss of the rhythm of the entirety of the exposure of the universe based on a particular attempt on your part, let's say, to improvise. I'm going to come back to it in just a moment because the healing from that sporadic disassociation has been going on since the beginning of this attempt at demonstrating to you moments of peace that allow you not to attempt to adjust the flash of what you call discontentment that invades you because of the activity of your conceptual or temporal mind. I know that what I've just said to you in the last few minutes may be fairly meaningless to you in medical terms. If you'll trust me just for a moment, I'm not concerned about the terms by which you define Parkinson's. I'm only concerned about your involvement emotionally with your inability to find physiologically and mentally and emotionally the solution that allows you to express this harmony. There. We're going to talk about it in just a moment. For those not familiar, let's take a 2-minute look at a definition of Parkinson's for the world, because I want you to see how it's defined or divined in its denial within the entirety of the necessity for the particulars of the medication involved to suppress or subdue it. Look. Parkinsonism, degenerative brain disorder first described by the English surgeon James Parkinson in 1817. Causes can include head injury, encephalitis, syphilis, or carbon monoxide poisoning. In cases where there is no apparent cause, the condition is called Parkinson's disease. The disorder is also termed shaking palsy. Parkinson's disease is a debilitating and progressive disorder in which the chemicals that facilitate electrical transmissions between nerve cells are depleted. It was the first disease to be treated by drugs that replaced deficient neurotransmitters. Symptoms usually begin in middle to later life with trembling of the lips and hands, loss of facial expression, and muscular rigidity. As it progresses, it may bring on body tremors, particularly in muscles at rest. Movements become slow and difficult. Walking degrades to a shuffle. After many years, physical incapacity may occur, but Parkinsonism is more psychologically painful than physically. Dementia occurs in at least 50% of the patients. Depression is also common. There is, as yet, no known cure. So, that's our definition. What good is that going to do us? Look at me. What good is it going to do to read a medical chart that defines what I am suffering from, offers me a correspondence that apparently will relieve the disease in terms of normalcy, which is fundamentally the retention of the tension described in a variant way within your conceptual idea about yourself. This is a healing process, and it's going to commence right now, of a recentering of your location in time as that sufferer is there, like having that disease, that will first give you a moment of peace, where instilling your mind, there will be no command, for you to activate within the circumference of your entirety of light form an angulization that represents what you would call the radius of the circle, where the procedure of the angle of resistance is varied so that from the point of contact, there's a disassociation from the center of the light form. What I've given you is a description of the human condition contained within its own circumference of realization of what it is within its own mind. The disharmony that has been occurring in you in what you call neurological diseases, and this would be true of Alzheimer's, what I call old-timers disease. The initial stimulation that I provide to you as a healer is an activation of your ductless gland association.